Hello and welcome to Football Manager once again for our first ever match as the AFC Wimbledon manager. As you can see, we haven't done anything to this because, we've only been here for 3 days. But as you can see, I'm apparently the League 2 Manager of the Month. As you can see here for Halifax Town. Yeah, I guess that's a positive. I mean, in my last ever month as manager of Halifax Town, I managed to win the Manager of the Month award, which is very nice, of course. I did put an offer in for Nwankwo and for Soonsup Bell. However, they were both turned down by the players as they had only too recently joined the club. So we'll wait till around January time to make another offer for them. But for now, we're going to have to rely on the Wimbledon team to play our matches for us. So we got Charlton today, and Charlton are in third place. So defeat today is more or less expected as well, because of the fact that the matter being that we don't really have a strong side. The team we're actually going to be going with today is actually a defensive 5-2-3 formation with this as the team, because I don't trust the team well enough yet to give them an attacking mentality, and I think this actually could work quite well with them given how they've been playing the last few games. So let's go forward to the game. We've got a big problem just behind Sodja in the striking position, but hopefully we should be okay. And apparently the team aren't very happy with the sudden change in mentality, which is going to be difficult, of course, for them to, work around the new formations, but hopefully it should be fine. Also, we're playing Charlton today. We're going to play Barnet in 2 hours for you, probably about an hour for me at most. But yeah, it should be fine. So for today's fixture, we have Marcelo Pitaluga in goal for Wimbledon, Ben Hennigan as right back as captain, Paul Kalambayi, Jack Madeline and Luke O'Neill in defence, with Alvaro Fernandez in left back, Matt O'Reilly and Ryan Tunnicliffe as centre mids, with Graham Burke and Jack Lee as right and left wing respectively, with Ty Sodja in strike as striker. Whilst on the bench we have Adam Matthews, Nesta Guinness Walker, Anthony Hartigan, Sorba Thomas, Ollie Palmer, Josh McGuinness and Louis Apere, or Apere, I don't know how to pronounce that. Whilst Charlton have James Beadle, Nathan, not going to have a chance pronouncing that last name, Richard Nate, Deji Aji Laja as captain, Kai Garande, Namandi Offerball, Dominic Ball, Liam McCarran, Chucks Aneke, David Wheeler and Omar Bogle. Whilst on the bench they have Ewan Williams, Harry Whitling, Harley Dean, Albie Morgan, Matthew Dench, Charlie Barker and Josh Davidson. Yeah, it's a fairly strong side. You should recognise Richard Nate if you followed the Millwall portion of last season's save. So yeah, let's go forward to today's game. One thing I forgot to re-put back on is that when I'm doing the in-between stuff, I turn off replays so the game can go a bit faster. So let's put that back on. And that's also been changed for some reason, not quite sure why. Fernandez plays the ball back to Pitaluga. Pitaluga holding the ball up, plays it over the top, finding Lee. Lee now back to O'Neill over the top with a beautiful ball for Sodja, and he's in behind the goalkeeper and scores the first goal of my tenure just a minute into the match. And unfortunately I forgot to turn the volume on my phone off once again. Now let's just quickly put this back out because for some reason it has shrunk. So the Charlton stats will be on the right, our stats on the left. Perfect. Right then, so we're already off to a perfect start here at Wimbledon. A 1-0 lead in this match against Charlton. After just 10 minutes of football, they haven't even had a shot yet, which is even better for me. Now this formation and this mentality and this tactic seems to work. But knowing Football Manager, at some point in this match, Charlton are going to have a miraculous effort on goal that's just going to go screaming into the top corner. because it's how Football Manager works. When you try something new, it doesn't like it when you try something new. But for now at least, we've got a very, very strong start. But in saying that, since our 2 shots, Charlton were on 0 when that happened, and now they're on 3. So they're coming back at us with a bit of aplomb. And Neke now, ball forward to Wheeler, Oyobor I think it was, but his ball was poorly shot and Pitaluga picks it up. Long ball over the top, looking for Sodja again in behind, but now plays to Liu, shoots from range, and we're 2-0 up. This has been the perfect start to life at Wimbledon, and by the looks of things, we're fairly well packed out in this stadium. I think it's 9,500 capacity at the Plough Lane, which means that we're probably around about 8,000 at least, which is double our highest we ever got at Halifax, which is very impressive. Poor throw from Charlton, but the ball ends back up with Offabor. Now to Neke, back to Offabor again, and Neke once more. Looking to get forward, finds McCarron now with the ball. To Neke, now to Ball, who shoots. And Dominic Ball makes it 2-1 to Charlton now. But to be fair, I expected to concede a fair few more than just 1 goal in this first half. So by the looks of things, we could do quite well. I mean, admittedly, yes, they scored 6 minutes after we did, but that doesn't really matter. Ball now with the ball for Charlton, running it forward. Plays it out wide to Wheeler. In the middle he runs, looking for a shot from range, but Pitaluga is a match for the effort. And so far, after the first half, AFC Wimbledon lead 2-1. That's a very good start. I think anyone would agree to that statement, especially against a team challenging for promotion at least. So let's go to the dressing room and let's pump our fists and say they're capable of even better. We're not making any substitutes yet because I don't really know, to be honest, where we need to make them at the moment. But the first 2 options to me are O'Reilly and Burke because of their condition, as well as Burke not really playing all that well. And then probably we'll bring off one of the defenders after that to sort of freshen it up near the end of the match so we don't risk a quick attack from Charlton getting through entire defence. I think we're going to make our first substitution now, being Graham Burke coming off for Serba Thomas to play as a winger. I know he's not really supposed to play on the right, but I think he's better at the option than McGuinness or Pare. Right, so for some reason the game seems to be very slow today. I don't know quite why. It wasn't very slow when I tried to play this earlier, when I was getting between Wimbledon and Charlton, joining Wimbledon and the Charlton game. It wasn't very slow. I turned the game off to have a little bit of a nap because I was quite tired, and now I'm playing back again, and for some reason it just doesn't seem to be very quick compared to normal. Fernandez now with a throw. Gets it to Lee, who heads it back to Fernandez, crosses it in for Sodja, but it's a poor cross and headed clear by Charlton. And Neke now with the ball, running it forward into the middle, looking to get past our 5 defenders, but has to go back to Wheeler instead. But it's a poor ball forward from Wheeler, ends up with our defender who heads it clear, but only as far as Charlton. And it's 2-2. That is a frustrating result to have to now take if we lose this match, because we had led. Okay, why are replays not showing now? Okay, apparently not showing the replays. Goal line, there we go. Right, we've fixed that, I think. I don't know how it took me this long to actually notice that none of the replays are working, but either way, if we now don't win this match, this is a very frustrating start to life at Wimbledon. We'll make our second change now, O'Reilly coming off for Hartigan. And I think, given the circumstances, I think now is the best time to bring off Jack Madeline, I think, because he is currently the worst of the defenders. We'll have a central defender role for him as Adam Matthews. Now, with 50 minutes left to play, I'd be fine with a 2-2 draw against Charlton. I genuinely would, because they are upper table, looking at promotion this season. They're not out of the question to get automatic promotion this season. We were at risk of relegation. I think, given all circumstances, a 2-2 draw is more than acceptable. However, they now have the ball again, with ball in our half. Plays it over the top, looking for Morgan. Takes it down well, looking to get a cross in, but blocked by, not quite sure who that is, didn't come up with a name. Williams back out to Morgan again, this time with a cross that does get into the box, and thankfully the header is just over the bar. And unfortunately, as you can see there, we've had 4 shots, they've had 26 now. This is atrocious form since we scored our second goal, really. Since we scored our second goal, we've just collapsed at the back. And as a side, we've let too many shots come through. But we're just thankful that we haven't let too many shots go in. Corner kick from, I nearly said Wigan, from Charlton, but it is headed clear. Grande now with the ball, running it back to get a cross in. Doesn't actually look to get across, instead plays it to Nate. Forward to Offerball. Now Morgan back to Offerball again, who shoots from range. And Charlton now win 3-2. This is a frustrating thing to have to see. Especially if you're a Wimbledon fan, you've seen your side 2-0 up in the first half. Admittedly 2-1 back 6 minutes later, but 2-0 up against a team 3rd place in the table, and then just collapsing at the end. It's just terrible form. And that's atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And I will be saying that in no uncertain terms in this dressing room, that I was far from pleased with that result. Far from pleased. Because we should have won that game after 2-0 up. We should never let them score 3 goals in a row. Absolutely atrocious. There's not a lot I can say, really, is there? There really is not. So, I think, given the circumstances, literally, if I have waited 3 days, I could have applied for the Reading job. I probably wouldn't have got it, but I could have applied, at least. And terrible. Absolutely terrible. But what can I do? What could I do? Oh, apparently Jamal Hector Ingram, a player we signed for Boston in the last save, if you remember correctly. He appears to have actually done quite well with his career since leaving West Ham. Not bad. Played once for Derby, I'm guessing in real life, according to this. And yeah. He must have played in real life for them. I don't actually remember doing that, but yeah, okay. He played for Derby in real life, and now he's playing for Forest Green after leaving Portsmouth. So, I think that's it for today's video. I can't really say much. I'm very deflated after that result. 3-2 against the side that we were leading 2-0 against. Never going to be a positive result to take, I'll grant you. But there's not a lot I could have done. So, until next time, as I say every week, every episode, I bid thee adieu and goodbye.